It was one of the darkest hours in the history of our country. A time of brutal oppression and tyranny. A time when our people were enslaved by a foreign power. Their spirits crushed by humiliation. Their hearts yearning to be free. It was in the darkness of this turmoil that a tiny lamp of hope was lit. In a humble home in Allahabad was born a man who would one day challenge the mightiest empire in the world with the force of his moral strength and the power of his oratory. Who would fight to protect his country's spiritual, cultural, and intellectual heritage, and spearhead the resurgence of a great civilization. Who would lift his country out of the mire of repression and lead it to a new era of self-respect and modernity. A man with such lofty ideals and supreme human values that Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore himself gave him the title of Mahamana, luminous mind, magnanimous heart. This is the story of one of the brightest stars ever to shine in our land, Mahamana Madan Mohan Malviya. Never has any man loved his country with such fiery passion or served its people with such selfless devotion. Mera Desh, Swadesh, my country, forever my heart's first love, my blood, my first thought, and the sweat of my brow will be for thee alone. Never has any man achieved so much in so many fields in a single lifetime. An astute politician, he challenged the injustice of repressive laws and fought to reform regressive bills. A visionary educationist, he built a world-class technical university and laid the foundation for India's emergence as a knowledge power. A fearless social reformer, he championed the cause of minorities and created forums to ensure equal rights for all. A passionate patriot, he fought to preserve India's economic freedom and launched a movement to boycott foreign goods. A devout spiritual leader, he promoted the study of India's spiritual heritage and led the revival of Hindu Dharma. Madan Mohan Malviya was just 25 years old when he burst onto the national stage. His powerful oratory and brilliant intellect electrified the political stalwarts. In his very first speech, he fearlessly lashed out at the immorality of the British rulers. Those Englishmen who uphold moral values will be saddened to learn that their government treats us like slaves. It is not correct that we are denied the right to have a say in how we are governed. No taxation without representation is the first commandment of the political Bible of the English. Roused by his words, Dadabhai Nauroji said, "In the voice of this young man, we feel the presence of Mother India herself." Madan Mohan Malviya soon became one of the most sought-after leaders in the land and was the only person to be elected 4 times as Congress President. Gandhiji himself said, "When I came back to India, I first went to visit Lokmanya Tilak. I found him as lofty as the Himalaya. It was not possible for me to scale that height. I then went to Sri Gokhale. He appeared to me like a deep ocean. It was not possible for me to enter so deep. Lastly, I approached Malviya ji. He seemed to me as crystal clear as a stream and as pure as the Ganga. I decided to take a dip in the sacred river. Gandhiji often called himself a pujari of Malviya ji. There may be dark spots in my character, but Madan Mohan Malviya is spotless. He is Pratasmarniya, a sage, who, if remembered early in the morning, makes a man rise above the mire of self-centeredness. A visionary leader, Malviya ji did not want to follow India of 5,000 years ago. As far back as 1916, he laid the foundation for the emergence of a vibrant new India and established what was later to be known as the pillar of Indian pride, the Banaras Hindu University. The Banaras Hindu University has been established to bring a special message to the world. We have lit the lamp of knowledge in the temple of learning. It is only men who possess great courage and patience and who have developed in themselves a constant spirit of self-sacrifice, who possess undying devotion to the cause which they have understood to be great and glorious, and who are torchbearers of the future. It is only men like this who can serve an institution like the Banaras Hindu University. Spread over a vast campus with an 8-kilometer-long circumference, BHU was and still is the largest residential university in the world and a living symbol of Malviya ji's extraordinary vision of India as a knowledge power. He was the first person to bring together the luminosity of Indian scientific knowledge and the innovative genius of Europe. He sought and won the blessings of 3 of the most eminent scientists of India. This was undoubtedly the birth of the science and technology revolution in India and earned Malviya ji the title of Rashtriya Guru Mahamana. Even as Indians rejoiced at the new beacon of light in their lives, darkness fell with sudden, unexpected horror and ripped apart the very soul of the country. Jallianwala Bagh, a name that will forever be seared on the hearts of all Indians. The horror unleashed by General Dwyer on a peaceful gathering and the cold-blooded massacre of thousands of men, women and children affected Malviya ji very deeply. He poured out his anguish in an impassioned address in the Legislative Council. He spoke for a full 5 hours and gave what is considered the most powerful speech in the history of Indian legislature. This was the turning point in Malviya ji's life, and he became the British government's fiercest critic. In 1931, he travelled to London with Mahatma Gandhi and Sarojini Naidu to take part in the Round Table Conference. His eloquence and fearless indictment of the British astounded everyone. Said Arnold Ward, a British MP, "Malviya ji is a man of very high caliber. He speaks strongly against the government and lashes the English statesman. There is no other more selfless leader than him in India. Though an idealist himself, he espoused practical resolution of problems. In 1931, when Gandhiji went on a hunger strike in Yerawada jail to draw attention to the plight of the Harijans, Malviya ji visited him and assured him that he would negotiate a pact with Ambedkar. True to his word, he set up the Harijan Seva Sangh to create an all-inclusive society and integrate Dalits into the mainstream. Malviya ji's compassion for the poor was truly exceptional. He was often called Karuna Ka Sagar. As Gopal Krishna Gokhale said, perhaps none can beat Malviya ji in his tenderness of heart and feelings. Malviya ji himself would quote from the Upanishads, "Let this mind of mine be full of determination for the good of everybody. I don't have a desire to rule, nor do I long for heaven or moksha. I have but one wish, to take birth again and again till I free people from their sorrow. I want to shine light into the darkness before people's eyes." Malviya ji did not live to see the freedom of the country he loved so much. He died less than a year before independence, on 12th of November, 1946. As the news spread across the land, thousands of people gathered to pay homage to one of the greatest sons of India. Malviya ji was a giant in the political and cultural fields of India at a time of the growth of our great national movement. We received a powerful inspiration from that great personality. There can be no doubt of the tremendous service he did to our country and of the powerful effect he had on the innumerable people who were influenced by him. It is fit and proper that we should pay homage to this great man who is the foundation stone of the huge building of independence. Though he may no longer be with us, he will live in the proud structure of free India. May we be worthy of him. Madan Mohan Malviya ji's legacy has endured. His vision of a strong, free, intellectually and economically powerful India has come true. His profound love for the country of his birth and his selfless striving to uplift his fellow citizens will remain an inspiration for generations to come.
तुझे है पुकारा